Now, you guys are going to be the ones to break it off. The ban phase has started. Remember, Team Noob as the higher seed gets blue side first. For the Dream, having the red, having blue side for game 2. Omen immediately banned away by Noob.
What a smart ban, because again, Omen was a key part of their composition. Mr. Rain just played Omen so well. They comboed Omen with Kali, with Finnick, as we've seen from last week or previous games. So that's a very smart targeted ban by Team Noob here. They definitely did their homework.
Yeah, we are going to see the Wonder Woman being banned out too. So a lot of those contention picks we talked about, the mages, the supports, all left open for now. Only 3 total bans left. We'll see. I think the ball is in For the Dream's court, and they're going to just continue on the same trend.
Side laners. Look at that. 4 dominant side laners. Malik open, Zenio open. Are they going to continue this side laner ban? Or are they going to go for like a Teamy ban and switch it up? You know, a Liliana ban. Maybe they might just leave Liliana and Flash open, because Liliana can be countered by a Flash. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and ban this Teamy here as predicted, but are they going to ban Liliana? Batman? Zephys?
You talk about the fact that Flash is innately a counter to Liliana, but do you feel that either one of these mid laners, Shurko or Poseidon, have had enough experience playing this hero to be able to play around? Because yes, while they might be a counter, when you have someone that's so mechanically proficient on something like a Liliana on both sides of the battlefield, does that raise that question?
Yeah, it does. I mean, maybe they didn't play against each other at a high skill tier level. At this caliber, a Liliana into a Flash, and both mages are kind of equal in skill for the most part. So it could be a little risky. However, you can see that Zenio is being prioritized. Malik needs to be picked up here because he's so strong in the side lane. There's also Lubu, who's open, who's very strong. So they want to secure these key side laners, because you can see the ban pattern. They have secured and banned a lot of the side laners. So Malik, Lubu, boom, taken. Now this leaves Lumber as the next option. Alice is really good pick here as well. The support play will come down here, because so many junglers are open.
If you're Team Noob, do you continue to... I say that it's getting hover, but the questions would have still remained. Do you hold on to not picking that mid laner and potentially force the Liliana for the Dream to allow for that Flash counter pick?
I mean, I think what we saw in the first match, I was wondering the same question, right? Do you just leave the mages to the very end? But the dominance that Poseidon had on Liliana, I think is something that he wants to keep for himself and not even kind of risk that option. I think this tells us that they're kind of relying on Poseidon to carry the game once again through that Liliana, as we see Tulin being the next pickup for the mage and the Lumber.
Oh, I like this so far. Yeah, look at the amount of CC, Lumber, Malik, Tulin.
Jeez.
And Rez, I mean, Grizzly Q's Lumber was phenomenal last game. They're going to go with Murad here. This gives him a very weak early game. Kresh is not that strong. And actually, Nakaroth is going to come back with Vex on the Nakaroth. And 0-7 playing a Yorn. That is a very risky composition. They're actually really weak early. Tulin is going to shut down Liliana in the early game. And then Arena Violet on Violet. Wow, the draft for the team looks really good. I'm glad I switched.
I mean, this seems almost like a dream team for the Dream, right? They're having the picks that they're comfortable with. They're having really strong picks, and also ones that combo well together. On the side of Team Noob, you know, some new ones, some returning picks, but not the most common, you know, predictable ones per se.
The question mark for me is this Kresh pick. Kresh has been a pick that in the first 2 weeks was a very solid pocket pick, as some kind of anti-CC that teams have had just to provide a little bit more of a front line. Looking at what For the Dream has drafted, does this Kresh pick make sense, and does it fit well with the Team Noob composition?
Yeah, it's a kind of, it could work, but Kresh isn't the strongest of side laners. I mean, Max was open. Max would have been a really good pick as well. You could have picked Kilgroth. Kilgroth was very strong and banned actually on Wednesday in EU. Kresh needs to scale. He needs to get to level 4, and once he's level 4, he is extremely strong with his ultimate. So it's a very interesting pick that I want to see how Team Noob is going to make it work.
Oh, buddy. 89% Team Noob.
Twitch chat, you were wrong last time. You're going to be wrong again this time. It's okay.
The animosity has already started, but the game is going to be starting as well. We will find out our Week 5 victor at the end of this series. Game number 1, Team Noob versus For the Dream.
Yep, this is the final for Week 5. So, you know, we say Team Noob, of course, they're sitting really comfortable with their points overall, but still, there's a lot to be said about just keeping up the wins and the win streak of the records, as Grizzly Q goes very aggressive over the wall and just trying to keep an eye on the entirety of Team Noob. So we're going to start with a little bit of invade from For the Dream, and Team Noob is going to react on the top side as well.
Yeah, this is exactly what they want to do. They have Lumber, they have Malik. and they have such a much stronger early game, and Tulin as well. And let's see here if Sherko's going to try to see this, and no, they're going to trade jungles, and that's exactly what Team Noob needs to do, because Nakroth, the reason why he's so good and dangerous is because he can run around and steal jungle all he wants. And Rez tries to get the steal there, but fails the jump, unfortunately. It does not get the steal. And look at the rotation coming from For the Dream here.
Yeah, For the Dream just kind of going through middle. They're doing it systematically, right? They know that their side was also invaded, so they say, all right, let's see if we can get a gank in mid. If not, let's reset, and it's going to be that 3-man roam once again. Mr. Rain, Sherko, and Grizzly Q, as Sherko just kind of coming in from the mid lane to get some assistance for each other. Violet comes in and picks up the buff. They do need Violet to kind of take that time to build up, similar to how we talked about Crash really needing some time to build up strength as well.
Yeah, what a perfect rotation there. They actually got Violet's rotation speed ahead, and Rain then rotates back to catch his wave. However, they do give up a Vision Seagull to Team Noob, which is going to basically give 0-7 a level lead eventually. He'll turn level 4 first. However, look at the rotation coming from For the Dream. They're going to secure the Spirit Sentinel, which is huge, and puts them more in the gold lead.
Yeah, and they should have the time here to go back to the Dragon as well. It's just getting started by the Crash, and there's 3, now 4 people from Team Noob, but For the Dream, they're here in time, only half health for the Abyssal Dragon. They're just jumping right in before the Dragon goes down. The Dragon now left alone, and that's going to be secured by Arena of Violet. The fight may be continuing. Rain just gets that shock off, but not enough to secure a kill. They're just going to chase out Team Noob all the way. Poor Kresh having to run the long way around. Poseidon also being cut off. The poke continues to come in, and look For the Dream.
Look at that 5-man rotation. They made sure they shut down the jungle. And that's exactly how you counterplay against a Nakroth. Nakroth wants to run around your jungle. He has so many gap closers that he can just jump around and dance in your jungle to steal it. But since they're shutting down his jungle, they're now forcing him to be starved. And as a result, he's got to, in order to catch up, he's got to invade jungle. He's got to try to steal jungle, but that's going to put him at risk and get caught out here. And look at the camping that For the Dream is doing. They're playing so sneaky.
Yeah, they're just keeping that jungle locked out. Like you talked about, Vex really not having much of an opening. 09 gets knocked up by that lumber. That's going to be a reset as For the Dream.
Wow. Look at that. Vex got the blue golem, and Poseidon last skill shots and last hits that jungle monster. The mechanics on these players are just so fun to watch. I mean, their jungle got invaded, yet he still was able to secure the buff and made For the Dream waste their time with that engage, and that it didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah, For the Dream, I mean, they got the right starts that they wanted, but you're entirely correct. Team Noob, once again, showing their prowess that, like we said, it's not just the team as a unit, you know, all 5 people, but also every individual shines so much for Team Noob that they can overcome those obstacles that are thrown in their way, and they're now keeping up. There's still a 1K difference because of the Abyssal Dragon, but Team Noob not really feeling any that far behind just yet.
Yeah, this is key now. Crash is level 4. He has his ultimate. It's going to come down to how Crash and how Lumber is able to set up these ultimate plays. And look at the Lumber ultimate.
Wow, the
lockdown is going to go down. He's going to actually be able to get out using Angelic Splendor to save himself. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was a smart play, having to use whatever you can, and also just in time for the Abyssal Dragon, so Team Noob set up for it. It's not going down fast enough. Vex is going to be able to secure it, and Crash comes in with the ultimate, but gets blocked by the wall, so couldn't go over, has to chase down. First blood goes to Poseidon. Is he going to start his rampage across the entire match? We see him still hanging out as Crash offers that front line, and now Crash ultimate ends, and the entire team of Team Noob backs out.
Man, what expert play there. Team Noob saw the Malik ultimate. They saw it was telegraphed. They then back off. They didn't let the entire team get hit by the ultimate. And then Vex expertly secures the Abyssal Dragon. That was such a clutch play that puts Team Noob right back into this game. And then they secure a kill by catching the Team For the Dream out of position there. And that's a positive trade there. Get first blood, get the dragon, and resulting in an even gold now.
Yeah, Rain's shot coming in, like you said, was telegraphed, but also left him away from the team. So For the Dream losing that 1 kill. Now things are back even. We're about at the 5-minute mark, and Team Noob, you can tell the energy is kind of back in their favor. Mr. Rain perhaps getting caught out once again. Their Lumber with a nice knockup, but Mr. Rain still falling solo. Crash slows him down by pushing him against the wall, but Rain is able to escape. Never mind, Poseidon jumps in with a lot of burst, but seeing Sherko on the side, Poseidon smartly backs out, not getting a second kill just yet.
Yeah, Poseidon is playing this Liliana so well. He's landing almost every skill shot, doing so much burst damage. And as a result, he's basically forcing the enemy team to run away from a Liliana when you want to do the opposite. You want to engage onto her and kill her immediately because of the amount of burst and AoE damage she can provide to her team. So this is working out really well for Team Noob in terms of how aggressive they're playing against a really aggressive For the Dream.
Yeah, meanwhile, we haven't seen too much from Rez. Just sent a couple rotations. 07 going down very low on that Yorn, but able to turn around, try to provide some poke, but it's not going to be good enough for 09 and 07 to fight this 2v2. They'll back out, slow things down. Vex looking for another opportunity. And we do have Poseidon just trying to clear the wave, see if there's a window to roam around. The Dragon's back up. They're looking for that timing. Rez is already halfway down the map for the Dream. So we have Zenio having to come in with a good ult. Miss Rain comes down. The shock only hitting 09, so not much damage. But 09's caught out. Not used his ultimate just yet. Turns it around. Knocks two people against the wall. The Dragon goes to Vex 9. Team Noob with that advantage out of the objective. Shurko so low. Barely blinks out. 09 still rampaging on three people. Gets out with a sliver of health. And this is what we saw from Team Noob, going in and back out and fighting that skirmish, able to get another couple kills, 3-0, another kill for Poseidon. That's 4-0 in favor of Team Noob.
Man, what a play. Vex again steals the Dragon. They back off when the Malik is ulting. He doesn't get much of the team, and I felt like he could have positioned that shock ultimate to hit more of Team Noob, but Team Noob just showing why they are the #1 team right now. I mean, this synergy and the way they're counter-engaging, they turn around a deficit and now into a nice healthy lead, and Poseidon is just going off on this Liliana. The way that he's able to land these skill shots and land his AoE damage is working out so well for Team Noob.
Yeah, 2-0-1 already out of the 4 kills for Team Noob. Poseidon showing that prowess once again. I mean, if this trend continues, that Liliana has to be a big consideration for a ban or a first pick on the side of For the Dream. Now, Rain getting caught out a little bit, gets a stun, but gets out with the shock, using that ultimate as an escape this time around. We are going to see Team Noob pressuring this bottom side of the map. They should get that tower, and that puts them at 2 towers to none.
Wow, they need the shutdown 07. Again, he's playing Yorn, who's so weak in the early game. They're not able to get any kills or ganks on him, and as a result, he's now getting fed. 4.4k gold lead, the highest and most fed on Team Noob. He already has Fafnir's Talon, that attack speed, that lifesteal. Now he's building towards even more damage. It's going to make him a force to be reckoned with once he reaches 2 tier 3 damage items.
Yeah, Vex just showing up for a quick little cheeky attempt at a steal and maybe a bit of a bait, but no one biting too hard. For the Dream, able to chase the enemies out of their own jungle, try to reset. But Team Noob starting to encroach slowly but surely into the side of For the Dream. I mean, that red side of the jungle now contested all throughout. Abyssal Dragon being left on. Vex actually leaves the Dragon as Rez gets brought down to half health. Sentinel will be secured for Team Noob. Dragon restarted. Vex and Poseidon, they seem pretty confident, but sure, there's 3 people. Violet coming in as well. They get stunned. Grizzly Q on there, gets the knockout. Can they get the steal? No, Vex, once again, what a perfect secure for that Abyssal Dragon. Oh, and
yeah, they get Dark Slayer. That was insane. The amount of damage from Yorn here on 7. And look at the gold and item advantage there. They have already three tier 3 items done. Nakroth and Yorn have the Spirit of Longinus. That means they're able to pierce and shred a ton of armor from the person that they're going to focus. So now they got to be really careful. Even if you're a tank like Grizzly, you can get knocked down really easy. Look at the damage they burst that they got to Rez.
Yeah, Rez is really low. Violet has to watch out, has to back out. Grizzly Q just trying to buy some time and gets left behind for a quick kill. And that's going to be another tower for Team Noob. The engine has been put into full throttle, and they're just pushing forward as they try to pressure this high ground tower. Violet's back with full health, same with Rez, but Shurko now the one brought down to half. So much poke coming in from both Poseidon and 07. Once again over the wall, and a nice snipe by 07 right as Rain tries to start a fight with Shock before the Dream. A second too late. They lose 2 members, and they're going to have to back out.
Oh my god, Renegade Violet just got deleted by... Look at the item difference. He cannot out-trade the Yorn right now. He just has a rank breaker and a cleaving sword. That is not enough damage to out-trade the Yorn. And unfortunately, Violet falls. And look at Vex here. Oh my goodness.
Nice snipe. Vex playing that perfectly, just trying to back out and then get the more secure kill. 07 being map aware, perfect accuracy with that ultimate. Picks up the kill, and now both high ground towers in the mid and bottom side of the map being pressured. One goes down, the second one at half health. Rain not able to fight Vex 9. Vex 9 barely losing any health as he fights that Malik. and that's going to be 2 high ground towers down. All 5 members will be up soon for the Dream, but 2 of them low once again, so they're going to have to replenish. The minions are just getting wiped out. Vex goes in, Rain jumps way far forward, trying to get the shock onto the enemy team, but Team Noob has no regard for that. Rez goes down. We see the Malik going down as well. Shirko trying to stay alive on that Tula, but it's not enough damage, and that is going to be the core as Team Noob secures Game 1 in this week's finals for EU.
Just like that, Team Noob secures themselves a Game 1 victory over For the Dream, but more importantly, they did not let up. It was pedal to the metal the entire game, not dropping a single death in the entirety of that game number 1.
Yeah, and the objective game was won by For the Dream. In the early game, they got the first dragon. They were doing really well. They had a 1K gold lead, but then Vax with these steals and 0-7, once he got his items, he got his mid-game power spike, he just carried the game with that Yorn. I mean, the amount of damage on towers and the kills he was getting, it was too much.
Yeah, like you said, it's an objective game because it was 9-0. That's not an immense amount of kills, right? I mean, it's a very big difference, but it wasn't immense. But I think the moment we really saw that come to fruition is when they secured both the Dragon and the Dark Slayer at once. And the fact that they're able to do that with that confidence across the entire map showed everyone that Team Noob, it did conquer the entire map, essentially.
There's a difference between passive play and scared play, and I think the latter was certainly the main storyline thinking about For the Dream. They came in with a comp that they wanted to execute upon, but they didn't take any of the steps for that execution. They had a win condition, they had a winning strategy, but it seemed like the second they loaded onto the battlefield, everything fell apart.
Yeah, it's just Team Noob was able to position themselves better. Malik never got a really clutch shock ultimate onto Team Noob. I mean, they would just disperse, and Malik only hit one person usually, and it didn't get the full value. And also, For the Dream bunched up too much. I mean, Poseidon got so much value from Liliana, and then Vex got multiple people knocked up, and then Crash, on top of that, landed some key metamorphosis ultimates that stunned the entire team of For the Dream. So their positioning needs work. You know, although they're both good at cutting fights, the positioning is what really costed For the Dream the losses.
Team Noob's positioning, however, is what really done them off the mark. We can see in the Dragon fight here, it was every step of the way Team Noob knew exactly where they needed to be.
Yeah, and look at the Malik. Only gets the stun in 0-9, but look at Rez. They're kind of misfocused. If Rez went on to 0-9, then maybe it would have been better, but Crash had the ultimate up. It didn't matter. And look at, they're all bunching up and taking so much AoE damage. And as a result, Crash is getting so much value. When he uses an ability, he jumps onto enemies in his metamorphosis state, he slows you a lot. And look at the way they're cutting. Just perfect cutting, not dying, and exactly what For the Dream did against their previous opponent, you know, Team Noob is doing now.
Yeah, Team Noob able to kind of take that as their own advantage. And again, we're seeing a lot of that kiting style play that we talked about for them in their first semifinal is still coming true in this final. And For the Dream didn't have an answer yet in Game 1. We'll see if they can change that for Game 2.
Well, you don't want them to change it for Game 2 because your reverse psychology of predictions...
Well, I said, you know, Team Noob wins Game 1, maybe For the Dream will, and maybe we'll go to Game 3. I'm fine. Now I got nothing to lose, right? Like, we're fine with this Game 2. I can rest assured, either way, Team Noob's going to win the series. It's all going to be fine. The statistics hold true.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm going to take the words right out of your mouth. You have nothing to lose. This is a situation coming into game number 2. For the Dream needs to understand that mentality. We talk all the time about how teams play either they play to win or they play not to lose. In this situation, it has to be the former for the Dream explicitly.
Yeah, they have to make sure they don't focus the support. I mean, that one fight really turned it around. They were ahead, but after that fight, they felt so behind. Losing towers next, Yorn gets fed, Yorn gets the kills, and that's just too much. So they cannot bunch up against a Crush like that. They have to understand their win condition and play to it. And as a result, Team Noob just played their composition better. Even though I felt like For the Dream won the draft, they didn't play as well. So Teamy, Ryoma, Omen being taken off the map. Again, really smart bans by Team Noob there. Omen, like I called last match, is the key ban against For the Dream. Without Omen, Rain does not do as much in the side lane.
So for Noob, do you ban out the Liliana here in fear that For the Dream is going to secure it right away, or do you feel so confident that you're okay with Shirko's Liliana, you'll counter it with something else, maybe
yeah,
the flash?
Exactly. I would love to see that happen here. Let Liliana go through. Let Shirko play it because his Liliana is so good as well, and then pick the flash right into it. So I'll be curious to see if Liliana's will be picked up by For, because I think they need to. They cannot give Liliana over to Team Noob. But it looks like they will.
Okay, well, they're securing the Zennial. I mean, last time Team Noob also wasn't, jumping on the Liliana immediately. They waited one round. Obviously, this time they're on that red side, so I'd be surprised if they don't pick it up out of these 2 picks.
Yeah.
Now, Zennial was the first pick for Team Noob on blue side in game number 1. Was the Zennial that much of a factor to warrant For the Dream picking it up round 1 instead of the Liliana, which they get?
Yeah, Liliana is much a higher priority pick. However, Flash could work well into her. I mean, right now, if they don't play Flash, they need to play Kali at this point, because Kali it beats Liliana late game, like, really easily, because her ultimate outranges Liliana, and it can force a team to back off from tower. So they're picking the Zenio Malik combo here. That's a really strong combo, but side lane wise, Lubu is going to be really dangerous. And the Kroth will be picked again here from Team Noob, and that's a really strong statement from Vex here. Oh actually
Zephy's. Yeah, I mean, Zephy's obviously was left off the table last game, but now it is available. So Zephy's and the Crashed coming back as well. I mean, I think no reason to change that, right? It was pretty successful. Had a slow start, but that's how Crashed works.
This also, in a lot of ways, could potentially, if not already, terrifies teams looking into the playoffs. Now, Team Noob has clinched the #1 seed. There is nothing for them to lose at this point in time other than bragging rights and potentially creating that much more of a chaotic disaster for the other teams 2 through 4. So playing something like a Crashed, Suijay, do you feel like this is something that they feel is more of a power pick, or is more of something to tell teams, we can play anyone, give us any computation of roster, and we're still going to shine?
That's exactly it. I mean, 0-7 is playing Lindis now. He can play Joker, he can play Yorn. Crash, although is not as good, and Zephy's and Lubu is not as good into a L'Oreal. So when L'Oreal gets to late game, Shirko is going to be able to carry really, really hard with it. And you have a lot of protection. You have a Zenio, you have a Lumber, you have a Malik. Finnick also offers a little bit of protection because of his Hammer Cyclone ultimate. But it's looking good for the team if they can make it to the late game here and not get snowballed.
It looked good for them last game too. That's all I'm saying. But I agree with you, right? As we're seeing it, I think they're going and adapting the little parts they need to with the picks they need. Team Noob on the other side just showing more confidence, right? I don't think this is a matter of strategy for them for these picks.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, hey, we can play these heroes really well, so we're just going to try to win with our strengths.
Teams are loading onto the Antares battlefield, but we want to know, as always, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Are you enjoying? Does Chobra need to come back for week number 6? I don't know. Let us know. Head to Twitter. Use the hashtag Valor Series. Tweet us your predictions. Gentlemen, we're getting into the game. Team Noob is 1 win away from securing their 5th straight finals victory here in the Valor Series. For the Dream, looking to potentially tie it up and force a game number 3.
You know, we say they have nothing to lose, but to go through the inaugural season of the Valor Series and say that we had a 6-week streak total for the whole season at rank 1 would be something that Team Noob can boast about for a long, long time. So I expect them to play their hearts out in this game, as you see a pretty aggressive invade from For the Dream. It might actually cost them. Grizzly Q has a long way to run, but we're not seeing much follow-up yet from the side of Team Noob. They almost go for the dive. Coco one took a bit of a risk on that one.
Yeah, Coco did. He almost secured, though. Is able to land that 3rd knockout from Lubu's Red Stallion. That would have secured the kill, but that was an expert dodge from Grizzly Q to get under his tower and get to safety. However, they're going to maybe lose the red buff here.
Yeah, now the counter evade comes in. They know that Grizzly Q is so low. Same with Arena of Valor. And that buff, it looks like it is going to go to the side. And actually a kill, too. 0-9 picks up the kill on the side. And so Team Noob off to a great start once again. 0-9 with that red buff. And now Poseidon able to jump onto that opportunity and start the game with another kill. Things are not looking so hot for the Dream.
Yeah, this is not good. Finnick is a person that you want to rotate your jungle really fast, and look at it, they're invading and taking the blue. If they do, that's going to be a really tough situation. That is huge.
Wow.
Taking 2 buffs, it's going to put Arena of Violet pretty behind Finn. Look, he's level 2 versus level 3s for the most part on Team Noob.
Yeah, we just saw Vex hit that 3 as well, and the buffs being taken out. Crushed also with that might buff now as goes around roaming. That's going to help him out, just put a lot of pressure down, and that should be an easy Spirit Sentinel for Team Noob, and they can take this pretty slowly because they feel comfortable going down to that Dragon. We are seeing For the Dream position for it, but not aggressively because they know they need to farm up. They're already so far behind that if they lose this fight accidentally, then there's no way of coming back. So they should really just keep an eye out, maybe try for a steal, but not much more than that. On the bottom side, Rez trying to chase out Coco. A little bit of a skirmish, but Coco now chasing out 2 people. Is starting to get a little low. That true damage coming in from Malik.
Yeah.
Dragon started.
Look at 07. It's already level 4. They're probably going to secure this Dragon. Unless a crazy steal can happen here. We may see it. Shurko takes it.
Shurko tried to turn the game around. 09 now solo. Not able to jump across the wall. Gets taken down right as he's attempting that escape. And that's 2 people down for Team Noob. That was not the result we expected from that Dragon.
Yeah, that was huge. They're able to turn that around completely, and now their deficit is not that major, and their level advantage is not as big now. I mean, we saw Arena Violet only level 3 when Team Noob had level 4s and 5s. Now that Violet is more even, and the gold is trickling back in their favor, they're able to now turn this around and get some jungle from this, and even out their lead. And look at that. Arena Violet now not far behind. 1.3k gold versus 1.5k on Vex is not too bad.
Yeah, I think that was a good reset for the game, right? They lost out a lot in the first 90 seconds, but they said, all right, just if we secure this and we can get a couple kills, Shurko coming in as the hero, gets the Dragon first and then a kill as well. And that brings them back to square one. So For the Dream now can relax a little bit, just play their own game. Wait for things to build up, but now here's a 3-person potential dive against Rez's Malak. He's getting pretty low. They're just the minions get cleared out too fast, so everyone on Team Noob backs out for the time being. We'll see if they hang around for much longer because mid lane is starting to see that pressure.
Yeah, look at that rotation there. Really nice job by Rez, not getting caught out there, playing them more safely because that's what they need. They need to not give any deaths because they're pretty even. So the next mistake is going to cost him. It looks like they're going to get the catch out 09 here.
Oh, 09 gets cut out, has to jump over the wall. Was pretty low, but has that leap and can escape over the wall. No chasing, of course, from For the Dream, too close to the tower. But they're going to be happy knowing that they're starting to put the pressure back on. Coco actually checks a little too fast. Meanwhile, Spirit Sentinel being contested up top, but it's 3v1. That should be for Team Noob. Coco also escapes just fine. Doesn't go all the way into the brush. And both teams just playing to their advantages still. No big changes yet. Gold now back to being dead even as the Dragon comes back up. And we see For the Dream starting. Arena Violet starts to hammer down that Dragon. 09 on that Crest has that ultimate ready. Actually, also not up yet, and she can't jump in, so Arena Violet just going to secure that Dragon just fine. We see the shot come down onto 2 people. Now the ultimate's up for Crash, but a second too late, just more use defensively to help save Coco, and both those players will have to escape the Dragon in favor For the Dream.
Yeah, and look at 07 rotating on Lindis there. Trying to get the jungle. 07 here, constantly getting fed. They have to figure out a way to shut him down because if he keeps taking jungle like this, he's going to get fed like the last game on Yorn and just do too much damage. And this slows down Violet's level progression as well. Arena Violet's going to slow down, not get the same levels, and as a result, fall behind in farm. Even though they did get the Dragon, they need to respond to what 07 is doing. Otherwise, it will be a repeat of Game 1.
Yeah, I think they're almost kind of forgetting about 07, right? You're not seeing too much other pressure and movement on the lanes, so maybe they're resting a little happy with the larger objectives they've gotten around the map, but I think you're entirely correct, Sweet J. 07 slowly but surely building up as that silent killer as Team Noob just tries to stay alive and keep this game going long enough for them to see the fruit of their labor.
Yeah, look at it. Because of the rotation and how much faster they're farming in 07's rotation, it's allowed them to put pressure on top lane. It's exactly what they want here. And look at that. They're going to probably take this tower down, but For the Dream needs to respawn here.
Yeah, Mr. Rain jumped in a little too early, used his ultimate to back out and also regroup with the team. They're able to keep that tower alive for now, and also the rotation maybe a half step late so they couldn't get a kill, but enough to make sure that the fight doesn't continue. Rain actually trying to jump in once again. Maybe a little too far out though. Gets the knockup for Vex 9, and Rain goes too low. Poseidon's jump in. Vex picks up the final blow. Shurko now being chased out by 07. A lot of damage coming in from Rain. Shurko has to watch out. 07 not able to secure it. The heal coming out. Crash wants the dive, goes in. Shurko with the endure, but it doesn't last long enough as they get another kill, another tower. tower, and another one as Team Noob just rampages through the top side of the map.
Yeah, what a huge mistake by Rain there. By jumping into 3 people with Malice, he lost his escapability. He had no escape. He got CC'd, and they focused him down immediately, giving over 3 kills and a tower, and now a Dark Slayer. That is a huge mistake coming from For the Dream here that it's going to cost him dearly.
Yeah, things got even, but no longer quite a lead now for Team Noob as they are able to take just one small mistake from one player and turn it into 4 different advantages that they could get around the map. Now 5 if you really want to consider this the aftershock of that fight up top. So Team Noob, once again, showing everybody that they're just so aware of the entire game, right? So aware of the entire battlefield and what's important. Now the Dragon as well. This is all a snowball effect from one single mistake.
Yeah, this is huge. Look at it. It went from an even gold lead to now 5K. And look at the fight here. Look at the Crush ultimate.
Yeah,
this is
09
a
goes
lot.
in, pushes all 4 people against Rez, tries to keep the fight a little bit longer with the shock across. 09 dives a little too far deep, so Shirko's able to get 1 kill. The tower does go down. Team Noob has to get out if they don't want to kind of give back any advantages. They only lose the 1 death on 09, which isn't the worst thing because they got the tower.
Yeah, they did get the tower. They trade 1 death. And again, look at that, those split pushing. They're always out trading. Doesn't matter if they lose a kill or it's a 1-1. They are able to convert that into 1, 2, in this case situation, 2 towers. And then Mr. Rain getting caught out again. He's got to back off immediately. And no, he gets killed by the execute coming from Vex. And execute on Vex on a Zephyrs, that's pretty smart. They just basically give the farm to 0-7, let him get fed, and allow him to carry, and Vex just has execute and being the main damage dealer distraction for Team Noob.
Yep, Poseidon we saw doing a cheeky 1 hit on the tower before backing out, just showing the prowess on the mobility. Vex has to dash out, doesn't want to fight against 2 people, was looking for potentially a catch. Now they think it's a 2v2, but it's suddenly a 4v2, so Team Noob has to be careful. We are going to see the buff go on the side of For the Dream. 07 gets cut out too far, and there's the shock on 2 people. 07 gets deleted. Arena Violet picks up that kill. Vex running out. They don't want to risk any further. 09 is the sacrificial lamb this time as he goes down. For the Dream, a bit of a victory on that one. Coco split pushing those. Suijay, you talked about Team Noob always going for a better trade. Coco's just trying to stick to this. Doesn't have enough damage nor enough minions, though. He's going to have to back out. Poseidon, can he come in for a surprise shock? There's a good stun from Poseidon, keeps Coco alive.
Yeah, that split pushing is working wonders when they had to respawn immediately. They were to save the high ground tower, which is critical for the Dream. They need to get Fennec to the late game. They need to let Arena Valley get more fed because they still are behind. They had a nice engage. They got some kills on their side. It is still not enough. They're giving over Abyssal Dragons and more objectives. It's 5 towers to 0 that Team Noob has a lead on. So For the Dream needs to start contesting and getting these objectives, but at the same time, they need to not fight a full 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 because they are behind, they don't have a level advantage, and do not have the item lead.
Yeah, we are seeing the pressure come out from Team Noob, but slow down a little bit, a bit of a reset moment. We'll see how For the Dream reacts. It looks like they're just going to have to sacrifice this tower, actually, in the mid lane. So now all high ground towers are available for the taking. And this is going to be a dive. A nice pushback from 09. Once again, Kresh just playing that front line. Rez's shot doesn't hit anybody, and the tower goes down too early. So that division isn't going to be in the favor of For the Dream. And we are going to see Shirko go down right after Rez goes down as well. With Shirko down, there's not much of a chance that they could come back. Grizzly Q also sacrificed as Arena Violet and Mr. Rain try to stay alive. Coco with a sliver of health, but just using that lifesteal to heal back up. And looks like Team Noob not done with the pushes just yet. Arena Violet, this is risky. Watch out. There we go. Poseidon chases him out. Tries to go for a further kill. Misses a skill shot. Actually takes too many hits from the core. Eventually goes down. Mr. Rain right now For the Dream just trying to keep this game alive, but Mr. Rain isn't anywhere near tanky enough. Rez comes back though, and that's not soon enough. The shock is the second lane, and Team Noob secure their victory once again in Week 5.